Hello friends, welcome to our channel Path to Betterment. Today, we have a beautiful and inspiring story to share with you. It's a tale of friendship, kindness, and the power of perspective, one that will leave you reflecting on the simple yet profound ways we can touch someone's life. In the end, we would love to know if you agree or disagree with the lesson this story teaches. Let's begin the story. In a small hospital room, two sick men shared a bond that would forever change one of their lives. Both were seriously ill, confined to their beds, with little else to do but talk. One man, whose bed was next to the room's only window, was allowed to sit up for an hour each afternoon to ease the fluid in his lungs. The other man was forced to lie flat on his back at all times, unable to move. Their conversations filled the lonely hours. They talked about their families, their jobs, their memories of military service, and the places they had visited. Each afternoon, when the man by the window sat up, he would describe the world outside with such vivid detail that his roommate felt as if he were seeing it himself. "The park is alive with activity today," the man by the window would say. "There's a beautiful lake with ducks and swans gliding across the water. Children are sailing their little boats, laughing and playing. Young couples are strolling hand in hand, and the flowers are in full bloom, bursting with color. You can even see the city skyline beyond the park. It's breathtaking." The man confined to his bed would close his eyes and picture every scene. It became the highlight of his day. He eagerly awaited the hour when his roommate would bring the outside world to life with his words. One afternoon, the man by the window excitedly described a parade passing by. "I can see the floats, the marching band, and the people waving flags," he said. Although the other man couldn't hear the music or see the parade, he could imagine it so clearly that it felt real. Days turned into weeks, and the man on the other side of the room found new hope in the stories his roommate shared. One morning, the nurse entered the room to find that the man by the window had passed away peacefully in his sleep. Saddened, she called for the attendants to take his body away. After some time, the man who had been confined to his bed asked if he could be moved next to the window. The nurse agreed, rearranged the room, and left him alone to rest. With great effort, he propped himself up on one elbow, eager to see the world his friend had described so beautifully. But as he turned his head and looked out the window, all he saw was a blank wall. Confused and heartbroken, he asked the nurse what could have compelled his roommate to describe such vivid and beautiful scenes. The nurse smiled gently and said, "Your roommate was blind. He couldn't even see the wall." Stunned, the man whispered, "But why would he do that?" She replied, "Perhaps he just wanted to encourage you. He gave you hope and joy, even when he had none to give for himself." And that's how the story comes to an end. Lessons to learn. This simple yet profound story carries powerful lessons. Kindness is a gift. The blind man chose to brighten his roommate's life, even though he couldn't see the beauty himself. A small act of kindness can transform someone's world. Perspective shapes reality. The man by the window couldn't see the park, but he created a beautiful vision for someone else. Our perspective can bring hope and positivity to others, even in difficult times. Focus on giving. In the face of his own struggles, the blind man focused on making someone else's life better. His selflessness reminds us that joy often comes from helping others. Cherish the moments. The bedridden man found happiness in the imagined scenes his roommate described. Sometimes, even fleeting moments of joy can bring immense comfort. Even though the man by the window never saw the world outside, he created a brighter world for someone else. And in doing so, he left behind a legacy of hope and love, a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter our circumstances. Do you agree or disagree?